The 650th death in West Virginia is an 86-year-old female from Ohio County. The 7,051st death is, the 7,651st death is an 84-year-old female from Monongalia County. The 7,652nd death is a 60-year-old female from Berkeley County. The 7,653rd death is a 77-year-old male from Cabell County. The 7,654th death is a 71-year-old female from Nicholas County. The 7,655th death is a 72-year-old male from Raleigh County. The 7,656th death is an 81-year-old male from Wetzel County. The 7,657th death is a 79-year-old female from Harrison County. The 7,658th death is a 70-year-old female from Monongalia County. The 7,659th death is an 84-year-old male from Harrison County. The 7,660th death is a 66-year-old female from Hardy County. The 7,661st death, let me back up. The 7,660th death is a 66-year-old female from Hardy County. And the 7,661st death is a 62-year-old male from Monongalia County. We have 1,168 active cases in West Virginia, 363 new positive cases. The daily positivity rate is at 10.38. Most all of you are testing at home now. We don't know the results of these and everything. This is we probably have many more new positive cases than we're showing here, but this is what we're showing. Our cumulative rate is now at 8.54. Recovered cases are 611,777. We've jumped well above 200 as far as hospitalized folks, 225 that are hospitalized, 30 in the ICU units, and 13 on ventilators. Most of our counties are green. A lot more seem to be yellow now, but we've got 20 yellow counties and I guess 35 green counties. From the standpoint of the Omicron booster, I urge you to please get that, especially if you're 50 and above, because it will probably save your life the variants now are very contagious. The chances of you getting this are probably pretty high. If you've not been vaccinated or you don't have your booster shot, it's not going to be a good day. From the standpoint of your flu shots, I remind you about getting your flu shot. It's really important. Whether it be RSV, flu, or COVID, all three of those things are out there. They're flooding our hospitals and everything, and so we need to try to be protected as best we possibly can. Our over 65-year-olds that have now received at least one dose are 92.9%. That's an improvement. The numbers still continue to get better, slow but sure. And so that's why we continue to be here in front of you and talking to you. From the standpoint of the vaccine calculator, we'll remind you, when to get your shots and everything. It's up on our websites. Same with our COVID vaccine info line. There's 45 outbreaks in our long-term care facilities, none in our church communities, 34 inmate and 10 staff cases. I encourage you about giving blood. Check with your physician. If everything's a go, absolutely please consider. Now, I'm going to issue a state of preparedness for all 55 counties ahead of this week's winter storm that's on the way. First of all, it's wintertime, and we expect snow and we expect cold weather, and we absolutely want and need a white Christmas. But with all that being said, it's going to get pretty tough. That's all there is to it. The way this thing looks, beginning, I guess, about midnight on Wednesday, on Wednesday night, this thing is really going to start to turn and get pretty nasty. So with all that being said, we're going to issue a declaration of a state of emergency or state of preparedness rather, for all 55 counties. Today I am announcing a judge appointment. I am announcing that I am appointing Perry Joe DeChristopher to be our 17th Judicial Circuit Court, to serve in our 17th Judicial Court in Monongalia County. She is a graduate of West Virginia University and West Virginia College of Law. She has served 28 years. She has served 28 years of experience as a prosecuting attorney in Harrison and Monongalia counties. Outside of her practice, now Judge DeChristopher, is active in the community on numerous boards and committees. Everyone knows her up there. She'll be a great judge. I mean, absolutely everybody in the world knows her, and she does fabulous work. So we congratulate her, and just Godspeed to do more and more and more goodness. She's already done so much, but I know she'll do so much more. I was honored to present a couple of checks in just a little while ago. One of them was $4 million, the other one was $2 million. The $4 million check went to WV Health Right. They're right here in Charleston and doing so much incredible work. It's off the chart. I salute them all. Angie's a great friend, and there she is holding the check and everything. But these folks and everything take care of those that are really less fortunate, and they do unbelievable work. They absolutely love seeing Baby Dog, but they're just great people, and I congratulate them in every way. And this money will go toward expanding a major expansion to their clinic, and so this kind of just put them over the top. They brought in all kinds of different agencies, whether it be federal and state and everything, and this just puts them over the top. Really good stuff. And the second check was presented for $2 million to the Charleston Area Alliance. They are absolutely, they're in the process of acquiring the Canal Manufacturing Complex in Charleston. They will upgrade this to a multi-tenant economic development and jobs hub. And the folks are with me right there. And they're just going to do more and more and more good stuff right here in this great city of Charleston. And so thank you guys in every way for coming, and just continue to do more good stuff. Marshall University's football team. Absolutely, in Marshall University in many, many ways today, we should be so proud. We congratulate them on another bowl win. Think about this. Marshall is now 13-5 in all of their bowl appearances. I mean, they beat the Huskies from the University of UConn, and they beat them 28-14 at Myrtle Beach. We were really proud, and congrats out to their head coach, Charlie Huff, their athletic director, Christian Spears, their president, Brad Smith, and all those, for a great ending to a very successful and great season of football at Marshall University. In regard to TikTok, and I'm jumping all over the place here, but I received a letter yesterday from Senator Weld asking to ban TikTok on all of our state government devices. And I do understand, and I share, Senator Weld's concerns that as they relate to our state's cybersecurity, and especially his concern over any foreign influence. The good news, and I want everyone to understand, the good news is my cybersecurity team banned this app a long time ago. We have been protected from this threat. Josh Spence, my Chief Information Officer, and his team constantly monitor and implement cybersecurity policies and technical controls to mitigate cyber risk all the time and everything. However, I want to just say this, that our cybersecurity team does not manage all the state's networks. Other networks like the legislature, the Supreme Court, the Attorney General, they have their own, their own networks. So today, with, Senator Wells', letter, I think it's great stuff, because absolutely, I am not a fan of, what the Chinese have brought to the table in so many different areas. And so today I am announcing that I will submit a bill during the session to put in law that this app and all other owned, and all other apps owned by the Chinese government are now banned or will be banned from our state government. So we'll take it one step further. I really appreciate the letter. I think the world, Ryan Well, he's a great senator and a good friend and a good guy. That's all there is to it, and he does good work. Now, with all that being said, Ryan, what I want to do is just take it one step further and everything, and that's why I'm going to put it in the form of a bill and submit it to the legislature. And if we can get this passed, we'll absolutely have something that will absolutely protect us and even more. And so it's important to keep in mind that TikTok is hardly the only threat that's out there, and millions and millions and millions of cyber events are happening all the time and targeting all kinds of different states and everything. Josh Spence is with us today. But Josh, if you want to come on and talk just a second, it'd be really good.
Thank you, Governor. Absolutely. Can speak on this topic and share some information that the ways the state is approaching the cybersecurity issue that we're facing is sort of recognizing that it's an ever-changing threat landscape and that we have to continually be vigilant to monitor that landscape so that we can be proactive to stay ahead of the threat actors. And we've been doing that in our partnerships with those other entities, as you mentioned. Taking it to the next step is the right move to ensure that as a state we move together and move forward to address this threat. These cyber threats are going to continue. We're going to have to remain vigilant as we move forward in protecting state devices and state network to ensure that there's not in foreign influence and to prevent any type of cyber attack against our networks is an important effort that we move forward.
Well, Josh, thank you. Thank you for all you do every day, looking out for the benefit and the well-being of all of us. Thank you, sir. Okay, if I can move on to something else, the I-70 bridge project is set. I think a total of 25 different bridges that are on I-70 is almost complete. And this was the largest Roads to Prosperity project in the state, $214 million, and Swank Construction did the work, and we're almost done. And so I promise you that the good people of Wheeling and in that area, I know you've been patient and waiting for that work to be complete and everything, but it is work well done, and it's work that now that we can enjoy for decades and decades and decades to come. So I'll be up there soon. I'll bring Baby Dog with me, and we'll cut a ribbon and officially open everything up and everything. So look for me to be there real soon. And today at 1 o'clock, I'm going to be joining our DNR to announce their new K9 program. This program will equip natural resource police officers with highly trained K9s to be used for search and rescue operations as well as educational outreach. It's good stuff. We're going to be doing it over in the Cultural Center, and we'll be doing that at 1 o'clock. I think that's all I've got. No, I've got one other thing, just a reminder about getting your hunting and fishing license before the end of the year. It'd be a wonderful Christmas present, too. Think about that. Get your hunting and fishing license, and then we'll enter you automatically into this lifetime hunting license, drawing and everything. You may be a winner of a lifetime hunting and fishing license. That's a great big deal and everything. And if you're out of state, we want you to participate too. We can't do the lifetime hunting and fishing license for out of state, but we can do stays at our state parks or whatever it may be. Good stuff there too. So we encourage that as well. That's all I've got right now. Thank y'all.
All right, thank you, Governor. Let's now go to Dr. Claymarsh.
Good morning, and following up with what the governor said, we are now starting to see an increase in hospitalizations from patients with COVID-19. And just as a reminder, in the pre-Thanksgiving time, we were down to about 100 and as good as the messenger RNA vaccines. And they now are being overwhelmed by another variant of the Omicron BA.5 called BF7. And this variant is infecting people in China. And the reproductive number, remember, we've talked about that before. The reproductive number is if you get infected, how many people will you infect? The reproductive number in China right now with the BF7 variant is felt to be 16. 1/6. And so that means for every person infected, they are likely right now to infect 16 new people. And that just demonstrates how powerful these viruses still are. And the good news for us is that we are seeing a reduction in the spread of the viruses like the BF7 in our country, because we do have people that have gotten sufficient vaccination with very good vaccines, and also that we're testing and prescribing Paxlovid, which is really important as well. And we look now at 2022, and we see, although still our elders are at risk for dying with COVID-19, the overall numbers look like for 2022 that they will be less than we saw for 2020 and 2021. But still greater number of people dying of COVID-19 than we saw pre-COVID in 2019. So it's really, really important for all Americans, and particularly all people in West Virginia. And this is really directed also at people over 65 in West Virginia, because remember, 90% of the deaths now are in Americans over 65 years old, and we see the same thing happening in West Virginia. So the best present for you and people that you love is to protect yourself and protect the people that you love, your children, our elders for sure, by staying up to date with the COVID, the new COVID booster shot. And in the US, only about 34% of Americans over 65 have gotten that booster shot, and we very much want West Virginia to stay ahead of the pack as we have done through most of the pandemic, because as the governor reads the names every press brief, we don't want to lose more of our really valuable citizens who can impart the wisdom to our youth. And also want to take just a second to wish everybody happy holidays. And please be careful, as we're seeing not only COVID circulate and increase hospitalizations, but also influenza, and RSV is still an issue as well. Thank you.